upon a dreary midnight, while I was pondering, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, I was nodding, nearly napping. Then suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. Ah, it's just some visitor tapping at my chamber door, only this and nothing more. And distinctly I remembered, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished for the morning. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books a brief respite of sorrow. Sorrow for my lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor, seeking entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor, just seeking entrance at my chamber door. That is it, and nothing more." And as my soul grew stronger, I hesitated no longer. "Sir, or perhaps madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I was barely sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, but only darkness there, and nothing more. And deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo muttered back the word, Lenore. Merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard it tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what is there, and let this mystery be explored. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery be explored. It's just the wind and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least respect he paid me, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with the manners of lords and ladies he perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Yet this ebony bird charmed my sad state into smiling, amused by the grave and stern appearance it bore. For such a small and harmless creature, your bravery is quite the feature, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what your lordly name, sir, on this night's infernal shore. And so spoke the raven, Nevermore. And so I marveled at this awkward fowl, shocked to hear it speak so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy it bore. For you must agree that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing such a bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the pallid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, Other friends have flown before. On the morning he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. And then the bird spoke, Nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by replies so aptly spoken. Doubtless what it utters is only learned behavior, caught from some unhappy master whom unmercifully disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his word one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope and the melancholy burden bore, of this nevermore. But the raven still charmed me into smiling, so I wheeled the cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door, Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking of this ominous bird of yore. What this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. Thus I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated over. And then it sent my mind back to the days of yore, thinking of my sweet Lenore, whose grace will find that violet lining nevermore. And I thought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, thy God has lent thee by these angels that he sent thee, please. Respite and relent from my memories of Lenore. I pray, please, relent. Let me forget this lost Lenore. And the raven spoke, nevermore. Prophet, thing of evil, yet prophet still. Be you bird or be you devil, whether hell sent you or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there salvation for the dead? Tell me, I implore. And the raven answered, nevermore. Prophet, thing of evil, yet prophet still, if be bird or be demon, by the heavens that bends above us, by the gods we both adore, tell this soul, with sorrow laden, if within the distant heavens resides a saintly maiden, whom the angels named Lenore, resides a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels named Lenore. And the raven answered, nevermore. Be that word or sign of parting bird or fiend, get thee back into the tempest of the night's infernal shore. Leave no black plume as token of the lie thou hast spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. And the raven answered, nevermore. And that raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes of all the seemings of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight over him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul, from out that shadow that lies on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore.